I'm Yan Yan. I'm going to talk about the impact of rote learning in math class for primary school students in Australia. Firstly, I will show you the outline of my presentation today. It includes the background, 4 key terms, the effectiveness and the two shortages, and finally the conclusion. In my essay, I'm going to argue that rote learning can be conducive, but it's not the most applicable approach. Math is usually treated in primary and high schools as an unchanging body of knowledge, so students would be motivated by math exams, implementing test-driven learning strategies. As a result, many educators in Western countries reach an agreement that students should be encouraged to develop their understanding rather than to memorize. These are some specific key concepts. First, rote learning is memorizing knowledge points mechanically. Next, deep learning approach is students' intrinsic motivation, which arises from their determination to tackle tasks meaningfully and properly. On contrast, the definition of surface learning approach is that students have a sense of completing tasks with low contributions. In other words, it is fulfilled out of the real purpose of the task, and is driven by students' external motivation. Finally, mathematics anxiety is the feeling of tension that interferes with the manipulation of numbers and addressing math problems in academic situations. As for the effectiveness of rote learning, it can help students deal with basic math problems precisely. For example, the rules like the multiplication table, the problem-solving process from the very foundation, the definitions of the key terms, especially for some theorem which cannot be resonated by students in limited knowledge storage. What's more, rote learning is crucial for weak students who cannot develop proper understanding. If they focus on memorizing important topics and several times, they can at least attempt the questions. Also, they can gain confidence. However, there is a counter-argument here, saying that children learn to copy and recite complicated characters in their early age, and they may not understand what they recite. This argument is not absolutely true, because rote learning is an important process to deep conceptual learning. Learners take what they know from prior knowledge, which may support learning new material and deepen their understanding of the concepts. Next, I will move on to shortages of rote learning. Firstly, rote learning would cause students learning anxiety. They lack pertinent concepts for anchorage of new concepts during the new instructions. What's more, students who use rote learning cannot see the connections between different concepts, so it takes them a lot of efforts to sustain that math studying and the pressure to remember the knowledge mounts. In this regard, there is a counter-argument saying that students seem to do well in rote learning and even appear to enjoy this learning approach. This argument is weak because students who perform well in learning tend to apply deep learning instead of rote learning, and their success can be attributed to their self-regulation, setting goals, and being responsible for their study. The second shortage is that rote learning is not as effective as deep learning. Research shows that students who apply deep learning approach tend to achieve higher grades and develop organized studying process. On the other hand, students who apply rote learning uses low-level cognitive activities. In addition, low motivation results to their negative personal involvement and investment. Also, students will fail to realize a cognitive problem exists. In this regard, there is a counter-argument saying that students can have positive outcomes in the exams which are designed to test fixed and accurate knowledge. It is obvious that this argument has a limitation because they will apply the static knowledge ineffectively in some new and flexible contexts. Finally, I'd like to conclude that rote learning in math is a conventional learning procedure which is solely based on memorization and repetition. So it would help students to develop foundational knowledge and address some basic problems. Nevertheless, this learning method would make students feel disinterested and tired because of multitudes of repetition. What's more, students may find it hard to adapt learning knowledge to other situations. As a result, rote learning is a path to reach the destination to understanding, but not the final destination. And this is the reference list. Thank you.